News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix. The U.S. and Iran have postponed peace talks in Switzerland. The White House cites logistical challenges, but comes as Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants clashed again overnight in southern Lebanon. Iran insisted on a ceasefire in Lebanon as part of an interim deal with the U.S. finalized this week. Meantime, a growing number of Republicans are blasting the deal President Trump signed to end this war, including Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is an exceptionally bad idea.
President Trump slammed those who oppose the memo of understanding on social media, calling them, quote, either jealous, bad people, or stupid. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also had some choice words for European allies in Brussels yesterday for failing to provide support to the U.S. at the start of the war.
They put America's sons and daughters at risk by denying them the predictable access, basing, and overflight that never should have been in question at all.
He says the U.S. will be reviewing its presence in Europe over the next 6 months. U.S. markets are closed for Juneteenth, but global stocks retreated ahead of the long weekend as investors weighed prospects for a diplomatic push to end this conflict. Right now, the FTSE in London's pretty flat, but the CAC in Paris is up about 1/3 of a percentage point. The DAX in Germany's up about 0.5 percentage point. The Nikkei in Japan closed about 1/3 of a percent higher today. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong dropped 1.6%, and China CSI 300 added 0.2%. Brent crude also edged higher to trade just above $80 a barrel after prices tumbled about 8% this week, with shipping through the Strait of Hormuz starting to return to normal. Anastasia Amoroso is chief investment strategist at Partners Group USA. She talked to Bloomberg Surveillance.
Fortunately, we went into this largest supply outage with buffers, and whether it's the inventories that we had on hand, and we could cover 200 days worth of net imports, and so that allowed for a lot of cushion that, in my view, would have prevented us from going into recession.
That's Anastasia Amoroso with Partners Group USA on Bloomberg Surveillance. Supertankers with almost 80 million barrels of oil are in the Persian Gulf right now, ready to cross Hormuz if given the go-ahead. U.S. mortgage rates are now at their lowest in a month as easing tensions in the Middle East cool inflation concerns and provide some relief for home buyers. Freddie Mac says the average for a 30-year fixed loan dropped to 6.47% from 6.52% a week earlier. The U.S. has told Dutch chip equipment giant ASML that it's concerned one of its top-of-the-line chip-making tools may have made its way into China. The systems are used to manufacture processors for the likes of NVIDIA and Apple, but have never been allowed to be shipped to China due to U.S. export restrictions. Sources tell Bloomberg bankers for SpaceX are getting ready for a big bond sale of at least $20 billion. Here's Bloomberg's Charlie Pellet.
Those bankers are preparing to hold calls with investors as soon as Monday to discuss a potential bond offering, this on the heels of the company's record IPO. Meanwhile, SpaceX shares were down 3.6% Friday, but they did end their first week of trading up 37% from their IPO price. In New York, Charlie Pellet, Bloomberg Radio.
In the UK, the Labour Party's Andy Burnham has won a special election for a seat in Parliament, setting him up now to challenge Prime Minister Keir Starmer for his job. Starmer's been struggling with political and economic problems, but so far has refused to resign. Here at home, cameras could be coming to the highest court in the land. Bloomberg's Nathan Hager has more from Washington.
This week, the Senate Judiciary Committee approved a bill that would televise Supreme Court proceedings, a move the justices have long resisted but has bipartisan support on Capitol Hill. The bill would force the justices to accept cameras unless a majority determines they would interfere with due process rights in a particular case. In Washington, I'm Nathan Hager, Bloomberg Radio.
Luigi Mangione's lawyers have withdrawn their psychiatric defense ahead of his murder trial for the shooting death of a United Health executive. Instead, his defense team now plans to show he suffered from extreme emotional disturbance. The move could help reduce Mangione's charges. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix, and this is Bloomberg.